Perfect, does it automatically. Hello, everyone. We'll give everyone just a minute or so to get settled. I see you all coming in. Welcome, welcome. All right, a good group here today. Awesome. So I want to be cognizant of everyone's time, so I'll go ahead and get started. A few more people might trickle in as well. But thank you so much for joining us today, and also for just our entire series of Explore Emory events. They got kicked off last week and we're continuing on this week and next week, leading up to our in-person visit day on April 8th. So again, thank you so much for your participation. And we have a great session for you here today, right now. So just to start off, my name is Jacob Ferguson. I am the Assistant Director of Admission. And today we are here for the MacMillan Law Library session. I'm joined by three of my incredible colleagues. I'll just introduce them very briefly and then turn it over to them so they can tell you a little bit more about themselves if they'd like, or continue on with their presentation. But we have Sarah Rogers, who is the librarian for Outreach and Programming. We have Christina Glahn, who is Head of Research Services. And we have Christy Tanner, who is Head of Access Services. So they're going to be sharing with you and taking over in just a second. Just a few more logistical things before we officially get started. We are in a webinar format, as you can tell. And so if you want to ask a question, please use the Q&A portion. You can do that throughout the programming if you want, but we'll sort of save them toward the end. So if you want to type your question in so you don't forget it, feel free to do so, but we will get to all of those questions in more of a Q&A format at the end. And we will actually be able to unmute you so you can ask your question out loud to the presenters whenever that time comes. And then other than that, the last thing that I wanted to say is just another word about some upcoming events, just to name off a few that are tomorrow and throughout the rest of this week. We have Student Support and Wellness. Tomorrow is Career Services, so I will also be there for that one. There's a Financial Aid session, and then there is the Tiger Program session, which is this week. That's just a few of them, and there are more. So without further ado, I am going to turn it over to Sarah and our amazing team from the MacMillan Law Library, and turn it over to their presentation.
Perfect, thank you. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. Okay, can everyone see that? Perfect. Thank you so much, Jacob, for introducing me and my colleagues. We're really excited to be here today. I'm Sarah. Christina is going to be my co-presenter, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what we're going to be showing you today. We and Christina are going to introduce ourselves. We're also going to talk about the team that we work with here at the library. We're going to talk about our services that we can offer you and the different spaces that we've cultivated for you guys. And finally, we're going to have some time at the end for any questions, comments, or concerns. So just to introduce myself first, my name is Sarah Rogers. I'm the law librarian for Outreach and Programming. I oversee all of the outreach efforts here because we really want to create a sense of belonging for you guys. So we have different programs and events, and I'm the main one who spearheads those initiatives. I will go ahead and let Christina introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the library session. My name is Christina Glahn. I'm the head of research services, and I'm responsible for all of our instruction on legal research events and processes and organizations and all the legal research instruction that the library offers you during your 3 years here at Emory.
Very nice. So this may not be the first law library presentation that you guys have seen, and it may not be the last. So I just wanted to know, what do you expect of your law library? What are your priorities? What do you assume we're going to talk about today or help you with? And I want to give everyone a moment to kind of drop some answers into the chat. It could be 1 or 3 words. It could be full sentences. I'm just really curious. And Chris, if you would mind, or Jacob, checking that out and kind of reading out some of the answers before we proceed to the next slide, that would be great.
I will.
Okay, cool.
study spaces.
Okay, nice. Very nice.
Resources for study help. Yep.
Okay.
Community. Yes, that's a great one.
That is so
Supporting
good.
a legal education. Yep.
And I promise this is not a trick question. I genuinely
No, it's
just
not a
want
trick
to-
question.
You're
It
not
also gives
testing
us a
me.
little feedback on what else we need to do if we're missing something. So yeah,
Exactly.
so far, yes to all of those. Notes and outlines. Yes, absolutely. Outlines are critical. Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Mhm. Well, you guys can, oh, we got another one.
Availability and access. Yep. Accessibility. Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Nice. Okay. So those are all really, really good answers. And I was curious about what the internet's impressions of us would be. So I took the liberty of looking for some graphic kind of representations. So this is what I got from Pixabay. Lots of books. Lots and lots of books. We have a semi kind of modern looking library here. We have books, books, books. We have this old guy down here in the corner staring at them with shock and awe, which is my personal favorite. And then we have some Frankenstein, King Arthur, Edgar Allan Poe kind of mixed in, which is interesting to me. And I was like, okay, maybe Google would have some more accurate results. So I decided to look there. And it's more books. It's more books. We've got Spaces, which is kind of accurate as well in a librarian, but we have all kinds of things that don't necessarily capture the full breadth of what we're going to do for you, especially this card catalog. If you guys had to do research like that nowadays, I'm sure that would lead to some tears. Fortunately, we have 3 whole departments dedicated to offering you a whole bunch of other services. So we have access services, research services, and collection services. And we're going to talk about all 3 today. I'm going to discuss access services first, just because that's kind of the conduit to all of the other departments that we have here on campus. And it's the department that I'm in, so I kind of feel like I have to represent. Basically, this department is in charge of helping you guys find the materials that you're looking for. This is also where you go to check books in and out. But they also do stuff like provide keys for the study rooms that you can book. If you have a headache from studying and you need some ibuprofen, you can come here. We maintain the library spaces, including the 9 miles of books that we have, and they maintain the library website. We do all sorts of things. We also have interlibrary loan, which if you didn't use this during undergrad, it's basically this really great service where if we don't have a book or a resource that you need, say it's like an article or something, we can ask another library to provide it for us, and then we get that to you. So that's one of the major things that we do for you as well. We also keep everyone informed. And like I said, since I'm in this department, the programs and events that we do mainly fall under here, but research services does some good stuff as well. And to speak more about the programs and events, our major thing is our award-winning Stress Busters program. And you can see that down here with all the people lined up to grab some food and some goodies. It was basically kind of a build your own goodie bag event, because we all know that when you are really stressed out, you're tired, you get hungry. So we wanted to provide some resources for that. We emphasize that work and play element because we really care about your mental health here at the library. And we recognize that if you're studying all the time, it's not very good for you. So we offer things like puzzles, coloring kits, different kinds of events. And we're just really trying to make sure that decompressing, de-stressing, while also getting that academic rigor in, is happening for you guys here in the library. I think Christine is going to go ahead and touch on research services.
So hi, yeah, so research services, as we mentioned before, this is my team. There are 6 of us on the team. We're all dual degreed librarians. So that means we all went to law school ourselves. Most of us practiced. law, and then we went back to school and got a master's in library and information sciences. So all six of us, all six librarians in the research services department have walked a mile in those shoes. We've gone to these information sessions. We've had to struggle with choosing which law school to go to. We've been through orientation. We've been through the first year, second year, third year. We've sat for the bar exam, and we were out and practiced. So we can actually help in a lot of different areas when it comes to law school. But our primary mission is to help you build the legal research skills that you need in order to be an effective attorney. Nobody knows the law, rather you know how to look up the law and find the law and interpret the law. So that's what we do. And within our department, our mission is to make you the best researcher you can be, so that you can out-research everyone that's competing with you for that job interview. That when you're in that interview, you've got the research skills to out-research anyone, and so you get the job. That's our focus when it comes to supporting our students academically. But as Sarah mentioned, law school can be very stressful. We all know, we went through it, and so we do a lot to help make life during your 3 years here at Emory a little bit easier. So we work with Sarah's team an awful lot with outreach and with programming, but we also teach legal research. We work with all the journals, we manage the archives, we support scholarship, and we just do all different kinds of things to help you navigate this 3 years in law school. And then Sarah, if you want to go on to the next slide.
Perfect.
So, but what does that really mean? How do we actually help you? Well, again, some of the things that you think about when we said, what do you expect from this, is supporting the legal education, notes, outlines, community. So 3 major things that you need while you're here are your resources, your databases. You need the books, but you also need the online resources. We have all the major ones, as does everyone else. So we've got what everybody has, so no need to worry about that. We have study guides and supplements. You cannot get through law school without a study aid. And we can help you pick the right study aid, because there are so many of them out there that I always say you don't have time to waste in the wrong study guide. So if you come up to the desk and ask one of us, I need a study guide for contracts, what do you recommend? My question will be, well, tell me a little bit about your outline. What's your actual question? And I'll talk with you a little bit to figure out exactly where you want to go. And then we have all the major study guides in print then, so you can check one out right there. And I can say, you know, check, here's 2 or 3 to choose from, take them and see which one works better for you. They're designed differently, they're structured differently, they have different goals. So I think that is one of the critical services that we offer when you're in the library and you're stuck and you're not quite sure what to do next when it comes to your classes and your outlining and getting these concepts in line. We're standing by to help you with that. And then we are also standing by. I truly mean it when I say you can come ask us anything. I particularly enjoy pep talks. So the way our library works is we are in a high traffic area, and I can see as students walk by, and when student has a bad day, I will ask, you know, hey, how's it going? And then find a way to brighten their day just a little bit with a pep talk, because we get it. We understand what you're going through, and we know it can be hard when you're in the middle of it. And so we want to do just a little bit, anything we can to make your day just a little bit better. Okay, so that's research services. And then the next slide is collection services. So I like to say that we have kind of a 3-headed monster here in the library. We have these 3 different departments and how they all work together. And collection services, they are the ones that manage our collection. So they're the ones that buy the books. They pick out which books and which databases we need in our collection to best satisfy our student and faculty needs. They order them, they pay for them, they bring them in, they process them, they catalog them, they put the call numbers on them, they make sure they can get to the shelves where they need to be. So they're the ones that get the books, collect the books, build the collection. And then you go to access services. They're the ones who help you access the books. So they make sure you can get in, that the lights are on, that the books are shelved. Sarah mentioned 9 miles of shelving. It's very important that the book is where it's supposed to be, but they also help you with the space, with scanning, with printing, with book stands, with ibuprofen, with earplugs, everything you need while you're actually using that book to access that book and or use that book. And then research services, we're the ones that help you understand the book. We're the ones that help you differentiate which book is the right one for you. So it's three critical departments. None of us survive without the other two, but we're all very important. And my team and Sarah's team, we're on the front lines a little bit more, but collection services, they're the heroes behind the scenes, making sure that we can give you all that you need because they've done all the work beforehand to make sure our collection satisfies everything you need.
Mhm. They also keep up with the recent legal publications and really try and make sure that you guys have exactly what you need. So yes, like for sure, it's a very, very specific methodological place. So in the midst of all of this, we have a ton of different spaces for you guys. We have 4 floors of study space, but we also house our books on all floors, and they're designed to suit a variety of your wants and needs. I'm going to talk about that in a second, but what you should know is that we do close. So we're typically open Monday through Friday, 7:30 to midnight, Saturdays 10 to midnight, and Sundays 12 to midnight. And we do this because we want to make sure that you're going home and you're getting some sleep. Studies show that staying up all night trying to cram is not effective anyway, and we want to continue to kind of make sure that you guys are processing that, you're really internalizing that, you're getting some rest. If you absolutely have to, you can go over to Woodruff's and use their library after we close, but we don't really encourage it. We do, however, have extended hours for finals, and closer to finals, we also go ahead and do a 24-hour schedule anyway, because we know that you guys, even if you leave the library here, you may go some other place, and we just want to stay open for you. Also during finals, we're extremely protective of the space. So we don't allow undergrads in here, and we don't allow non-law students in here. We want to make sure that that perfect study nook that you've really picked out and kind of pinpointed as your place is open and it's not, taken up by some English major or something. So that's really important to know, because on our next slide, we have the different noise levels. So on your first floor, we have whispered conversation, second floor group work and normal conversation, third floor whispered conversation again, along with a silent study area that I'll talk about. And finally, on your fourth floor, you have, again, whispered conversation. So kind of like a little less normal than your typical library. We have some areas that are specifically designed for you to be able to talk the way you want to. I'm going to talk about the first floor first. So this is where our ILARC faculty offices are and our government documents. We have some standing desks here. We have some seating areas. And the most important thing to know about this floor is that if you do not want to know that the sun is going down and you're still hitting the books, you can come down here. It's windowless. You can't see the people walking by, enjoying the fresh air and the breeze. It's a really enclosed, true bottom level space. So that's what this floor is really good for. Our second floor is going to be the main point of access for everything. So that service desk that has access services, research services, and IT, that's where that's going to be. This floor is really cool because this is where you can speak in a completely normal speaking voice. I tend to laugh really loudly and want to chat with people, so this floor is really, really good for that. We also have a variety of table sizes. So we have really big desks where you can take your books and you can spread out and kind of group up with your friends. We have some standing desks that have these really cool lamps. We have a new student learning center, and this one's really popular because it has diner style booths where people like to bring in drinks and food and friends and really kind of get out of that typical library environment. You really do feel like you're just like, at a Marietta diner or somewhere. We also have our games and leisure reading collection here. So if you want to Theragraph To Kill a Mockingbird, or you want to play werewolf with a group of your friends, you can find those materials on this floor. We also have some mental health resources and books that you should be able to pull from. And those are kind of paired with our award-winning Stress Busters program. I didn't mention this before, but the American Association of Law Libraries actually gave us an award for this program. So they really do recognize the hard work that we're trying to put into this. We also have DVDs, so you can check out everything from Legally Blonde to Studio Ghibli to the extensive horror movie collection that we have. We have a ton of different resources like that available for you on this floor. We also have a computer lab where copying, printing, and scanning are available. So it's a really, really big floor and it encompasses a lot of services, but it's also really cool for you guys because since that's the main points of entry, you can find exactly what you need really quickly. We also have the third floor. So this is kind of split. We have a whispered conversation area, and then we have the Granger Hansel reading room, which is a silent area. Literally, when you walk in, you can choose one path or another, and it really does depend on what you want. Some people really like to have some kind of background noise. Maybe they want that louder murmur on the second floor. Maybe they want dead silence, so they'd run over to the Granger Hansel reading room. We kind of envisioned a place where everybody would be able to get what they need out of their environment, and that's what the purpose of all this is. We also have the King and Spalding room, aka the Georgia room. So this is down here. I don't know if you can see my pointer, but it's really gorgeous. It has a bunch of greens and browns. There's this big window, and it just kind of feels really cozy and out of the way. But if you prefer that big, wide open space feel, the windows on the third floor are perfect for that. The sunlight just pours through. You get this gorgeous view of the fish. It's really amazing if you want to be able to see outside and kind of watch people come and go. We also have the fourth floor. Again, we have a ton of different styles of seating and tables. This is kind of like a more office-y style. Some people seem to favor that. I think they can pretend that they're already, in their law firm, getting on their way. You also have this balcony here where you can look down on your peers, snootily or not snootily, it's up to you. We have lots of books and things on this floor. And there's also, again, this cute little study nook where you can go and retreat and be away from everybody. But if that's not enough, we have study rooms. So we have available for reservation 11 study rooms. You can reserve them 2 hours at a time, today and tomorrow, so they can be booked in advance. And they're suitable if you want to be on your own or if you want to go with a group. My personal favorite is the Prow. It's at the front of the library, which was actually designed to be shaped like a ship. And it's just like these really nice curved windows, this huge study space. You can see all the trees and the light. It's really beautiful. There are whiteboards in every single study room. And I included this reserve a room link here because you can actually book them online. It's super simple. And then once you go and you pick up your keys from where? The Access Services desk. And I wanted to include other non-library spaces because I feel like that's just as important when you're really trying to figure out if this is a place where you want to study. So we have Bacardi Plaza. We have this beautiful tree setup here. There's tables and chairs, and it's really popular for the students who want to get outside and get some fresh air and eat lunch. It's really nice, and it's just a short walk away from the library. We also have Highland Bakery and Kitchen. I'd say that's a 5-minute walk-ish if you're walking briskly. Starbucks is about 10 minutes away. And if you don't feel like camping out in there, if it's crowded, you can bring your food and your drinks back to the library and you can come and eat in here at those diner style tables that I was mentioning before or wherever you want. We also have an Instagram page. So it's MacMillan, and this is where we're gonna post updates, upcoming events, funnies, all sorts of different things for you guys to be able to keep up with what your library is doing. You can follow us on Instagram, and we have all sorts of different resources. And that is the end of our presentation. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, as I said before, please feel free to ask. Our main thing is that we want to be able to help you. And honestly, sometimes there are things that we haven't thought of. So I'm always open to any comments, whatever you guys need.
So we've already got our first question.
Okay.
Does Emory have a subscription to LexisNexis or to Quimby for students? We have Lexis and we have Westlaw. We have all the major ones. Quimby, we've not signed into yet. We've talked about it several times. I think Quimby is a bit controversial because it gives you the answer as opposed to you figuring out how to navigate to that answer. Learning the laws about legal reasoning and legal analytics, and you learn that by trying it and running into the obstacles yourself. Quimby kind of shows you where those obstacles are and tells you how to get around them. So I think there's a value in doing that yourself. And we haven't quite gotten on board with Quimby yet, because I feel like we need to protect you from it. That's not the right way to put it, but you're doing yourself harm, I think, in my opinion, by having the answers given to you instead of finding the answers on your own. So we have not subscribed to Quimby yet. We do look at it every month or two. We talk about it and decide if it's time. We review it to see if it is sufficiently encouraging those analytic juices. So far we have not.
We also got another good question. Are there books or articles you recommend for incoming 1Ls?
Excellent question. I get this question all the time. My advice for you as an incoming 1L is to sleep. That's the best thing you can do. Sleep. I know you want to read ahead, well, maybe I should read some contracts books, or maybe I should read this, or maybe I should start figuring out how to do my outlines or how my study group is going to work. And I think what you do is you get yourself a little bit worked up before you actually get here. You're solving problems you don't know you have yet. And any substantive material that you try and learn on your own, that can be confusing because it's going to depend on how your professor teaches that material. Property, I think, is a great example. There's about 5 different ways to teach property. You can start off with this concept or this concept or this concept. It's kind of all the concepts are related, and there's different entry points into the whole world of property. So if you try and read all of this and get all up on this, and your professor starts at this angle, then all of that work was for nothing. And in fact, might even now confuse you a little bit more. People have asked me, should I learn Latin? No, don't. Should I be reading certain things? If you want to read, obviously we go to law school because we love reading. Read for fun, read for pleasure, have some fun, sleep, because once you get into it, you will quickly learn what your own particular challenges are. And you can't know that till you get here and you get started. So any of that pre-preparation is either going to stress you out or has the potential to be wasted effort. So my advice, sleep, have fun, because when you get to law school, it's all about law school. Any recommended inspirational experience with law school readings? I think, you hear 1L and 1L of a ride and the different, I personally like Legally Blonde. That is actually how law school works. It's very accurate, and the classroom part, not the professor hitting on you to get an internship. That's not real. But it's too many of them are horror stories. I think they're going to spook you a little bit. I think just have fun, and your preparation is getting to know yourself, is sleep, is exercise, nutrition, all of those self-care things. If you can build some strong self-care habits over the summer so that when the pressure does hit and the stress starts going up, you've already got some of that self-care lined up. I think that's probably a great way to spend your time, as opposed to reading all of these accounts of what it was like when I was in law school, because you can't compare yourself. And I think so many students compare themselves to each other rather than focusing on what they need internally. These are great questions, and questions I all had as well. Not the first time I've heard any of these questions either. So keep them coming.
I really like your answer, Christina, about
I'm gonna be honest, I'm all about the truth and helping you figure it out. Are students able to be supported during COVID spikes, such as accessing things digitally, work with the library to view certain materials? Absolutely. Absolutely. We do have COVID protocols in place. We do have support for that. All of our classes are in person. Well, most of our classes are in person right now, but they are all recorded and available via Zoom. So if you are required to quarantine, there is a Zoom element already set up, and attendance via Zoom for COVID reasons is part of the culture. And I would certainly hope that's the same everywhere. With our research consultations, we do a lot of Zoom. Even if you're fine and are not exposed or anything, sometimes you just don't want to leave your house. And so we're happy to Zoom for any one-on-one consultations. We do have a lot of ebooks online. We can't scan books and email them to you per se, but you can, like Sarah was talking about, interlibrary loans, you can request them and pick them up. We can certainly streamline things for you. So yes, we are moving into a brave new world where not everything has to be in person, and the library is doing all we can to support that.
And I will say Access Services in particular remains like really, really attentive to any developments from the university. So we really do try and consider that when we're developing policies, signage, everything like that. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And for those of you who haven't been to campus yet, the CDC is just down the street. And so we work a lot. We follow the CDC guidelines, and because we're right here, there's a lot of collaboration with Emory School of Medicine with the CDC. So we're always in the know when it comes to COVID, which has been nice.
Mm-hmm. Are there resting/napping areas in the library or on campus?
Absolutely. Sometimes you just need a nap. Yes, we have all kinds of seating. There's several little nooks, and we have these kind of cushy Adirondack chairs that you can kind of relax in, and go pull the chair into a nook, put your sweatshirt over your face, have at it. Napping is encouraged, it's expected, it's part of life in law school. And so yes, we do have napping spaces.
Lots of cushy areas. I've seen people passed out in front of the leisure reading area, and I'm like, same.
Yeah. We have a lot of soft seating. Sarah alluded to it earlier. We've tried to create every combination for whatever it is you need. If you need a little chatter, if you need a little hustle and bustle, we've got it. If you need silence, we've got it. If you don't want to know that the sun's gone down, or don't want to know it's nice outside, we've got rooms where you can't see outside. We've also got rooms where you can see outside. If the weather is just really nasty, I would have sat in the window the whole time and been like, look how smart I'm getting. I don't need to be outside. And so bad weather days, I would love to sit in the window, because what else are you going to do? But sometimes good weather, I don't want to see it. So we've got standing, we've got sitting, we've got every combination. And if there's a combination that you've got that we haven't thought about, we have a suggestion box for you to tell us, and we will try and set it up somewhere on our 4 floors. We have a lot of space.
And we take it super seriously. Like, some students were studying these past few weeks, and they were like, the silent area is not silent. And we were like,
oh, no. I will shush. I will shush in the silent area, because that's what I would have needed. So I get it. No, we respect the noise levels throughout the floors. Absolutely.
Yes. You can always pick up and move somewhere else if you don't want to respect that area. So yeah, we take it very seriously.
We will tell you. I will tap you on the shoulder and say no.
Mm-hmm. This is great. Like, these are great questions. This is great.
What else is on your mind about law school in general? What other questions do you have? Now's your chance to ask us anything.
She really means it. I took Chris's language of the law course, knowing absolutely nothing about law, and kind of got a quick 5-week run through and just learned so much. So Chris is a great resource if you guys want to ask any and all questions right now.
I can verify that as well. And I got the 5-day version. So it was even faster. It was great.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Oh, you two, stop. Do you have access to lockers? Yes, the law school does have lockers.
Mm-hmm. They're right downstairs.
They're very conveniently located by all of the 1L classrooms as well. Right. So, and you can use them beyond 1L, of course, but the 1L textbooks pile up very quickly. And as a 1L, you're going to be taking almost all, if not all of your classes on the same hallway. And so they're right there conveniently for you.
Yeah, the library is located in a great place. You can run downstairs to get some eats. You can get to your lockers. The classes are right around us. It's like a really nice, convenient area to be in if you need to study in between classes or even after classes.
What opportunities are there for interdisciplinary work, and how do university libraries facilitate that? Ooh, great question. Yes, we have a variety, and Jacob can probably answer this one a little bit better about our dual degree programs. So I will let you answer that one.
Yeah, so if you're thinking dual degree in terms of interdisciplinary, there are a few, the more, well, I can list them all. So there are dual degree options with the business school for the MBA, with Candler School of Theology for the Master of Divinity and Master of Theological Studies, with the top-ranked Rollins School of Health for the Master of Public Health. There is one for Master of Arts in Bioethics, and then there's a PhD joint degree option. And so those are the joint degree options you can take advantage of, if you're looking to combine your legal studies with one of those other things.
And
so
even if you don't want to pursue the full degree, there's cross-listed courses for all of those degrees, and you're welcome to take any of those. I teach health law research, and we get a lot of masters in public health students. We do get some med students in it. And so there are a lot of cross-listed classes as well. So, and once you are an Emory student, you have access to all 9 libraries on Emory's campus. So we often advise other students. I will work one-on-one with a business student who's taking a business and law class. I can help them with the legal research on that. So, and if any of our law students need help with business research, the business librarians who all have MBAs also then can help with our own law students. So we collaborate with all the libraries to support legal research regardless of discipline, or to support research regardless of discipline. Great question.
Yeah. And interdisciplinary extends beyond like those joint degree programs as well. I mean, like Chris said, you can do cross-listed business courses or cross-listed religion and law courses, and that's sort of facilitated through different centers and programs that we have too. So the Center for the Study of Law and Religion is the one who facilitates the joint degree programs with Candler, but you can also just take cross-listed courses or get involved in the Journal for Law and Religion as well. So we can talk a lot more about interdisciplinary in a lot of ways, but yeah, Chris and the library staff are excellent at helping with students from a wide variety of backgrounds as well.
Are there prayer/meditation rooms on campus? Yes, and the library, even though we don't have any within the library itself, we do have resource guides online that point you in that direction. So you can find out how to get to them and how you can use them. Yes.
The law school does have a prayer meditation room. So we do have rooms here in the law school, they just aren't located in the library.
Right.
And there are others across campus.
It's room 1A in the library, or sorry, not the library, on the law school side. And just for clarification, maybe Sarah or Christina said this earlier, but the law school and the law library are connected. They're technically 2 different buildings, but there's a connector between them. So they're slightly different spaces, but also the same.
Mm-hmm.
If that's fair, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it makes everything super convenient. So.
What other questions do you all have? We're here. We've been here for these virtual events.
I'd like to offer up, my name, Christina Glahn. I'm on our website. If you come up with any questions later, feel free to send me an email. I'm happy to answer as many questions as you have, and I will answer them honestly. I like to say that the librarians, we're the nice professors, that we don't have any tricks. We're going to tell you straight up and help you figure out the right answer. That's what we do best. So I promise you I will be honest.
Awesome. Well, if we do have any further questions, you all know how to get in contact with me in the admission office, and Sarah and Christina's contact information is here as well. I know they're always welcoming of questions and willing to help anyone, even admitted students, before they get here. So thank you so much, Christina and Sarah, for your time today. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you all for joining us, and we'll go ahead and wrap up and end for today, but stay in touch if you have further questions, and and we hope to see you at events over the next several days. So thank you all so much, and have a great afternoon.
Thanks for coming, everybody.
Thanks. It was a pleasure.
Bye.